What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to our channel here at Vagabond Builds. And today we're going to be talking about a comparison video on this beautiful Blackwing standby Chase Duvall 6.2 liter 10-speed automatic transmission Blackwing. And we're going to be talking about some differences from the Blackwing CT5V over to just a regular CT5 Sport. And we're going to be talking exterior, interior specs. But before we do, if you guys do like our content, please like our video, subscribe to our channel because it really helps us out. If you got something for us to film, email us and we could talk details later. And a special shout out and a thanks over to reliable Cadillac, Buick, and GMC in the Roseville Auto Mall for providing us these cars for this review. Now let's go ahead and talk about these cars. So let's kick off this review with talking some specs, all right? Now let's go over to this and start with the boring first. 2.0 liter turbo motor. This is kind of the motor you'd want if you want MPG and be eco-friendly. It's 27 combined, 23 city, and a 33 highway miles per gallon. But we're not gonna focus so much on this. Just wanna get you guys an idea. But compared to this beast, it is a monster raw power 6.2 liter V8 with a 1.7 liter supercharger, 668 horsepower, 659 foot-pounds of torque, 0 to 60, 3.4 seconds, top speed of 200 miles an hour on the track. Everybody, these motors come hand-built, and whoever does hand-build them, they put their stamp right here, Chase Duvall stamped. Beautiful, super big motor. Now, I'm not even talking about the MPG on this thing because no, you are not buying this car for the MPG. You're buying this car for the performance, the drivetrain, the track monster that it has within itself. So V-stamped right here on this Craftsmember, V-stamped here on this hood liner. Super cool. Now you can tell the amount of space that you don't have on this motor compared to the amount of space you have on that motor. Very cool. Now, let's go ahead and shut this hood and shut this one and get a load of the front ends, everybody. So remember, the Blackwing is this one and the CT5 is that one. But this Blackwing is not a carbon 1 or a carbon 2 package, unfortunately. But you guys have to pay attention that if you do have a carbon 1 or a carbon 2 package, you will be seeing differences on the Blackwing itself from the front end. This is just all black gloss trim with different cuts compared to the black gloss trim with different cuts and slight chrome on the CT5 Sport. So what do we see different on both front ends is we're gonna see the cuts here. Look at the grills, different shaped grills, okay? You're gonna see bumper sensors placed different locations. You still have the lighting looking the same, but you also get the vent here to where you don't have that here. So it kind of gives us a different look on the bumper covers. Now, bottom lips, of course, if you do have a Blackwing carbon package, you will see carbon lips and carbon grills and things of that sort, but not on this base Blackwing. Black gloss, you will see the difference on the lower lip compared the Blackwing over just to the CT5 Sport. Check that out. You kind of have a dual lip on this lower bumper cover. Now, grills themselves, black gloss, chrome with the black gloss, but this is just one color all throughout with the Cadillac sign stamped right in the middle. LED lighting, same look on the lighting with the parking markers, but check this out. If you guys want to know the color, this is a Rift Metallic. Now, what the Rift Metallic is, it's a different color. It doesn't look white. Maybe it looks white in the video, but it's kind of like a gray in some light and then white in some light, but this is one of those just bright, like snow white colors on the CT5 Sport. But gosh, I'm loving these new colors that Cadillac are putting on their cars, especially this Rift Metallic gray look on this beautiful Blackwing. Coming over to the sides. Now, wheels, everybody, we're going to see different wheels from CT5 Sport to base Blackwing over to Blackwing carbon 1 package over to carbon 2 package. Different colors you're going to see on this. Both 19s, okay? They both come with Michelins, but these run Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. Bicolor rim, of course, this is just one color, kind of a metallic silver, but you got the, what is that, like a gunmetal gray on the interior and a machine surface chrome or silver on The front, super cool. And guys, let's just point out, of course, that big red caliber, as big as your head, V stamped in that red. Now, of course, on certain carbon packages, we are going to be seeing different color calibers. You do see black color on bronze rims and bronze calibers, depending what color you choose. Continuing over, just a simple Cadillac sign stamped on the CT5 Sport, but the V itself letting you know that this is the beast, the V, the track monster. And of course, the Blackwing staple is the fender. Look at the fenders here, okay? The fenders have that vent on the Blackwing to where the CT5 Sport doesn't, and this is Blackwing's specified or specific, super cool. And because of this, you're going to have a slight difference here on this rocker panel trim area, okay? This rocker panel on the Blackwing is black, comes over to the front to where this does not fully, it does come over to the front, but it kind of comes down under that plastic molding to where this just finishes it. This kind of has its own little cap over that vent. Continuing forward, same look, same cuts, side mirrors, blind spot assist. The Blackwing comes 360 camera, okay? But this, no 360 camera, everybody. Integrated lighting, but we're not gonna really focus on that. Black gloss trim around the windows. Door handles, you don't have to pull the door handles. They have buttons on both, very cool. Continuing with the Cadillac sign stamped on the both front handles. Same look, rear tires. Let's talk about rear tires. Gosh, these are running 305 in the width, and these are 245s. These are like little puny tires, and these are like massive tires. These are the tires ready for the track. Pilot Sport 4S's running on this beautiful Blackwing with that V stamped on that rear caliber. Gosh, just look at that. Dual caliber rear brake system. Loving that look. Gosh, I'm loving this car. It's awesome. Coming over to the back. Now, the back, simple, I wouldn't say simple, straight to the point, but simple in comparison to one another. The main differences from Blackwing over to the CT5 Sport is you're gonna see, of course, the V stamp, right? Black gloss trim. Instead of that, that's gonna be a metallic silver trim. But look at the exhausts, okay? On the CT5 Sport, you pretty much just have a dual tip exhaust coming out of the muffler, but it is a one pipe muffler system. To where over to the CT5 Blackwing, you have a quad tip exhaust, two on each side, and you have a dual exhaust, meaning two pipes coming in from the motor, of course, because the V8, everybody. Camera systems integrated over the license plates, and pretty much simple, straight to the point. But gosh, I cannot just get a load of this Rift metallic color. Loving this, awesome. Now, let's go ahead and pop this. Paper, of course, but what do you think about the trunk? I wouldn't think this would be a grocery getter, but if you do buy it as a grocery getter, it would be a freaking fun grocery getter. Let's go ahead and put that back in with some more personal space. Let's shut this down. Now remember, everybody, I was telling you guys 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. That's actually almost as fast as my Lamborghini that we're doing a series and build on. Check out our other videos for that. Let's go ahead and talk interior. So jumping inside of this beautiful 2023 Blackwing V CT5, and we're gonna be talking about minor interior, but more so why this car is so special. V stamped on the door sill, kick plates right there. Let's go ahead and step inside. Right off the bat, AKG sound system with the carbon fiber inlays. Loving the look on this car and the sporty feel, yet luxurious. Gosh, it is beautiful. Black perforated leather with that nice stitching, sport bucket seats. Very beautiful, full digital dash on the infotainment center and the driver cockpit. And check this out, V button with the toggle switch. Super cool, and carbon fiber with that V stamped on your steering wheel. Leather wrapped with that nice little red racing stripe there. Let's go ahead and start this car and get a load of this car. And you hear that beautiful 6.2 liter V8 supercharged. Oh my gosh, you just hear that supercharger whistling. Now, you don't get much difference from the interior over from the CT5 Sport over to the CT5 Blackwing V. Now, not being a carbon 1 package, carbon 2 package, what we would see different is The back seats do not have that carbon fiber on the rear. And of course, seat belts in different colors on the interiors. But take that into consideration. But overall, the shapes and the curvatures and all these things are pretty much similar. Now get a load of that driver cockpit, and this is where I want to spend some time, everybody. On this driver cockpit, it's letting you know temperature, oil pressure, what's going on with your tires, loving that current drive cycle, distance, and 299 miles, where you're driving north, south, V stamped on that RPM gauge cluster with your miles per hour right in those two spots. Now you have a heads-up display on the Blackwing and also on the CT5 Sport, so that is awesome to have that when you're driving. You don't want to be constantly looking down at your miles per hour or your RPM when you're there on that heads-up display, just focusing on the road, focusing on the track if you're using it. Let's go ahead and press OK, continue. Now I want to show you guys something. Of course, you get the navigation, the Apple CarPlay, the Android Auto, and all that stuff. Look at that. I just want to show you guys a quick look on that full navigation. But we're going to go home and show you guys video recorder. This is what I want to show you guys also is this. If you're driving it on the track, you can literally drop a SD card into it and do your track times by video record. It is super cool if you're testing yourself on the track. Of course, 360 cameras. I want you guys to see that on the Blackwing, but not on the CT5 Sport. You get different settings in the cameras. Just like that. All right, we're gonna go home. All right, but let's go ahead and focus on what I wanted to focus on the most is right here. These two buttons, the toggle switch and the V. Let's go into the V mode, and it opens up the exhaust, shows you what it automatically sets up in V mode right here. Steering, suspension, engine shift, brake feel, engine sound, letting you know. And then you have, of course, the PTM right there. We're gonna be talking about that as we're coming in tour mode. But look at this, let's go into mode. And not only that, you get a different look here on the right side of your driver cluster, snow, ice, track, and you literally hear the exhaust opening up as you're going through modes, sport, tour, and my mode. And I want to focus on my mode a little bit. If you come and set yourself into my mode, you can literally set your own driving mode into my mode. However stiff you want that steering into sport, track. Let's go ahead and go back. Sorry, because I accidentally pressed that home button. My mode. And we could go into engine sound. Confirm changes. It's going to ask you to confirm settings apply, and it literally opens it up. Loving it. And then brake feel, how you're going to brake, how you're going to feel that system. But let's go ahead and continue into modes. And if we go into track mode, of course, this is going to set you into everything, right? But you don't have that performance track mode right there. Now let's go into PTM. And as soon as I mess around with this kind of Ferrari-inspired toggle switch here, looking like, I'm gonna mess around and check this out. It goes into performance traction mode. And we can go into inactive, wet, dry. But look, see how you see that little flag there? All right, that's gonna let you know. And if you go into race 1, race 2, I wanna just mention to you guys that the setup on race 1 and race 2 literally stiffens the suspension and so strong that it is said, or there's stories out there, that when you're driving these things on the freeway in race 1 or race 2, that it becomes so stiff that if you hit a bump, you could actually crack your rim. That's how stiff the car gets. Now, when you drop it and you mess with this toggle switch, you're going to start messing around with traction control on this car, to where if you're just regular V mode, the V mode will have traction on, but will not mess around with any partial traction or things of that sort. The moment you start to mess with this toggle switch, you start to mess with your traction control, partial traction control, and things of that sort. Maybe you're driving on a wet track, a dry track, sport, race 1 and race 2. That is going to start messing around the traction and how loose this car is going to feel on the track, how stiff around the corners and things of that sort. That is very important on this. And the beauty of it, it lets you know the settings in the mode that you're in and what the car is exactly doing. Now, of course, you have your temperature gauges and your heated and ventilated seats, with your lane assist and 360 camera buttons manually. Wireless charging pad, carbon fiber inlays, manual control with your navigation buttons and going back, home and all this stuff to control that infotainment screen. Up top, loving the dual sunroof look. You got that tilt and slide on that sunroof. Let's go ahead and do that. And on the back, you got that glass in place. So the second row is getting that same feel, everybody. Loving it. Loving that dashboard and that leather wrapped stitching. Up top is your control unit. Straight to the point, simple, but we wanted to focus more on that possibility of going through modes and things of that sort. Let's go ahead and talk second row seating. Now in the back seat, perforated leather, same look coming in over from the front to the back. AKG sound system, carbon fiber inlays with some pocket room on those back seats. Now on the back of the center console, USB-C plug-in with a 12-volt outlet plug-in. Now everybody, I'm about 6 feet 2 inches and my head is tapping the top. So take into consideration, it does come car seat compatible. Maybe your kid loves speed just the way you do, Dad. Put them in here and let them get the feel for it. Guys, we're going to drop the MSRP sticker in the exact package this car comes with so you guys get an idea of the tech and all that goodness and love that this car had when it was being made. Stay tuned, we're dropping that MSRP sticker. Thank you so much for watching Vagabond Builds. Our channel, continue watching because we got cool things coming.